guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at a scenario where where there are no landlocked countries. So basically I just went through, drew in some lines, and made sure that every single country in the world had access to the ocean. Now first things first, what would this do to the world? Well, a lot of countries have lost a lot of valuable land to make sure that everyone can touch the water. Europe has almost been split in two. Central Asia is nearly non-existent. The Caucasus have been split up from the Middle East. Also, this is not following anything geographic. I just drew in random lines to make sure that every single country had coastal access. Who's lost the most here? Well, the USA is still fully intact. France lost some northern land, but they still have Paris. Spain barely lost anything. Italy, Germany didn't lose any. Wait, they lost a tiny bit of land. Poland barely lost anything. The Balkans are gone. But Turkey's still fine. Greece is still fine. On the other hand, Pakistan is fine. Iran is fine. Iraq is completely fine. Most of the Middle East is good, actually. Along with a lot of the Americas, there was only one change made to get Bolivia and Paraguay coastal access. This map looks weird, and let's go ahead and see what's going to happen. First things first, also, poor Nigeria here. They're just... ouch. Who's lost the most here in the world? Who has lost the most? China lost some of Manchuria, and Russia lost some of Eastern Russia, but they're both still doing fine. Russia, did they lose any more land? Yeah, a tiny bit over here to give coastal access to Belarus, but nothing too terrible. Nothing too terrible. I mean, honestly, I'd have to go with Montenegro and Kosovo are both completely gone. They do not exist anymore. They are not countries anymore. Are there any other countries that just completely disappeared? I tried to make sure that none completely disappeared, but a lot of them were heavily weakened. So yeah, how would this financially impact the world? Well, of course, there are more countries with access to trade. But at the same time, there's less land area, and a lot of important countries like France lost land, along with China and Russia. Down here in Africa lost a lot of land to this. And I had to go pretty inland here in East Africa. Yeah, this is not very good for the world. What would happen though? Well, we'd probably just see a few border changes, and that's going off of the new perspective. So I'm gonna give Germany majority of Alsace-Lorraine and Luxembourg. I'm gonna give Belgium this part of northern France, and just give Belgium over to the Dutch. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. I'm sure the Dutch can combat this. Dutch land would look something like this by 2030, mark my words. But obviously that's not actually true. As for Hungary, well, this line's going to go to Croatia as a kind of reverse card. This is now Croatia. And let's go ahead and give them Slovenia too. They didn't lose any land, but relations between the two countries aren't terrible. They could probably do helping each other out. As to this little bit of Ukraine, it goes to Moldova, and Moldova as a whole goes to Romania. So yeah, a lot of countries are expanding here, and a lot of countries are losing land here. Serbia, well, they can't really do anything, but what's left of Albania and North Macedonia both go over to Greece, who I don't think lost any land. Nope, they did not. Bulgaria is completely fine. So is Romania. They'd probably split up Serbia, but they still have enough land to the point where I think they could survive. Armenia, on the other hand, well, Iran, you just got a whole lot of land here, as both Azerbaijan and Armenia were cut pretty much into two, and a lot of their land is now on the Iranian border. As for Armenia as a whole, it is now too weak and it's being given to Azerbaijan. And Azerbaijan and Georgia, they're both strong enough at this point. Azerbaijan still has Baku, they'll survive. As for Central Asia, well, Uzbekistan. Yeah, Uzbekistan. Yeah, blame Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan for this. I had to make the water go all the way over there. And all of this is the Caspian Sea, so that's not new. Kazakhstan is doing fine, but let's go ahead and give Kyrgyzstan over to China. And what's gonna happen with Kyrgyzstan? I'll keep them independent for now. As for this small part of Manchuria, well, that's gonna go over to Russia. Also, I'm doing these things based off of what makes sense. This is kind of a different video, but I don't know, I kind of like it. We'll see how it does. Hey, Russia, you got some land. Mongolia is doing fine. If anything, they're doing better now with coastal access. Korea, they're both fine. This tiny bit of Russia, yeah, that's Chinese now. That's Chinese now. Where else do we see incredibly weak countries? Right here. Turkmenistan is struggling, but they did unite with Uzbekistan. Middle East is fine. Let's look at Africa. Sorry, Nigeria, but this piece of land is going over to Benin. Let's go, Benin. You expanding. The rest of Nigeria is fine. As for a lot of these countries, Niger lost a lot of important land, but they still have this to support them. It's not a lot, but it's just gonna have to do because I'm not uniting you with anyone. Equatorial Guinea, on the other hand, is completely dead. And this part of Cameroon is also gone. Oh, yeah, no, that is actually real land. As for this little piece of Uganda, Burundi, and Rwanda, yeah, they're all going to the DRC. And as for the rest of Kenya, and over here, the rest of Uganda, yeah, it's gonna go over to Tanzania. Both pretty weak areas. Tanzania could use the help. Same thing with Malawi and Mozambique. So yeah, Tanzania really is forming the East African Federation here. And it's just made up of a bunch of weaker states that couldn't survive with the land loss. Zimbabwe, poor Zimbabwe. Well, this part of Mozambique is going to South Africa. So are Lesotho and Eswatini, as they both lost some land to this new, I guess we'll call it a flood. But if a flood really happened, it would not look like this, I can promise you. I'll actually do that soon. What if the world flooded? I'm sure I can find a map of what it would look like, copy it down onto a real map, and do it. Any other countries in Africa that are so stupidly weak? And I'm not talking about like Djibouti and Eritrea. They have to have lost land in order to be able to unite with someone else. Because why not? That's how I'm going to do this. Cambodia's done. Cambodia has lost about half their land area. They could not survive like that. As for India, they've been cut into two. You know what that means. Give the land to the nearest country that's large enough to control it. AKA Bangladesh. You just like tripled in size and doubled in population. Good job. Also, this little bit of India is going to go over to Nepal. And yeah, that just India. India. Any other countries that we really have to kind of give to another country to make sure they survive? Honestly, the Serbia, nah. I said they would survive, but they'd eventually die. Probably to Romania, but we're gonna give them to Bulgaria here. And else who would die? Latvia would most certainly die. Let's give them over to Estonia. And maybe Slovakia. We're gonna unite them with Hungary, who has also lost a lot of land. So yeah, there we go. Oh, nope, I forgot about the Americas. Actually, nobody lost too much land here to the point where they're dead. No, actually, this is the New World Map. It's kind of ugly, but it fulfills the promise. Every single country has coastal access. A lot of countries have expanded, but also a lot of countries have died. This would probably not be beneficial for the world, as this is a lot of land just disappearing down to the bottom of the ocean. A lot of people would die, a lot of infrastructure would be destroyed, but a lot of countries would get coastal access. So that's, I mean, yeah, there's not much good thing to look on this. It was a bit of a quicker video, but I do hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.